Hello everybody, welcome back to the Talent Managers podcast. Today we're here with Julia, also known as Sour Summer on Instagram.
Woohoo!
Woo! Our
Hello.
first guest.
You're the first one in our little studio. Cooper's trying to say hello. I feel like we're gonna dip into some influencer insight and tea today. In the best way though.
Yeah. Some juicy.
Yeah, so starts off with the first one, which is spill some tea on your least favourite brand experience.
Oh. How much detail can I go into?
You can go into as much detail as you want, it's up to you.
I've had maybe a couple which were maybe not super bad, but it made me so frustrated. So I feel like that's kind of where it tips it for me, is where I've done everything they've asked and yet they're not happy and they push and then they're late with their side of things, their payments.
Oh yeah, I hate late payments.
There's a brand right now that won't, that hasn't paid. The website shut down. The
website shut down.
Yeah, I think they've probably gone into administration. So all the emails are bouncing back.
Oh my god. Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Well, the thing is, I had the girl's number, the influencer executive, text her, and she was like, I'm actually no longer working for the company right now. So I was like,
oh god.
Obviously, if someone's no longer working for the company,
There's not
what
much
can
they
you
can
do?
Yeah.
She gave me the owner's number of the company.
Oh god.
So I obviously sent her a WhatsApp, nothing back.
That's really bad.
What can you do if a company goes into administration? But I'm sure that there's a lot of other people that will probably be expecting money from them. So we'll probably just have to wait and see what happens. Because if the company, if they've not actually gone into administration, if they're just having some, I don't know, we'll just need to see what happens.
Yeah.
Was it a really big brand?
A lot of people have worked with them.
Yeah.
A lot of Fiat 500 girlies have worked with them and stuff.
Yeah, a
But-
lot.
Is this a type of girly?
Yeah.
500?
Yeah, only wears Shein and Pretty Little Thing and Boohoo and
I mean,
wear the same micro trends.
right, so you saw I sent into the group. So when I was in Paris, I got a text from this guy
Yeah.
and he was like, hey, so I got this number of a girl at a bar yesterday, but looking at your picture,
It wasn't you.
it's obviously not you, so she gave me your number. And I'm like, oh, that's funny. And I was like, where was the bar? He was like, Glasgow. And I was like, okay. And he was like, she's short, tanned and blonde. And I was like, so half of Glasgow then? It could be anyone. And I was like, who is going around giving my number
That
away?
has to be someone
The
you
thing
know.
is, the guy is pretty good looking. And I was like, I would give him my number.
Yeah.
But I'm like, is someone trying to set me up or
Yeah, because I'm like, for it to be in Glasgow, what are the chances of it being someone random just giving a random number or switching their own digit? Surely it has to be someone who
Knows
has your
you.
number, yeah.
Did he tell you what bar it was?
No, he's he's not from there. So he was like, I don't remember, I just walked into some bar with my friend.
You should story that and be like, who the hell did this? That has to be someone that you know. Yeah.
If someone did that to me, it'd be funny, I would laugh.
I just think it's weird that it was in Glasgow.
Yeah, I was
That's so close, it has to be someone,
Yeah.
you know.
I'm going to tell a story and I really hope that he's not listening to this. I don't usually use dating apps, bar Raya, right? Not that I think I'm anything special, but
She's bougie.
But I really don't, it freaks me out, people I know seeing me on dating apps, right? Me and my friends, before, were on Hinge. They were like, oh, just, go through it, right? So, I went on Hinge, whatever, I liked, 4 people and paused my account. And basically, when I was away, I was like, I'm just gonna, go on this because I was bored. And I realised, see who had, matched with me, and this one guy had matched with me. Anyway, this is so embarrassing that I didn't even notice this. Are you okay?
Sorry, no. I'm joking.
On the coffee.
On the coffee. Okay,
So,
continue.
last night, I was with my friend again, and she was like, just, go on Hinge. I was like, let's just see, who's on it. But I always pause the account, because I'm like, I don't want to actively be on Hinge, right? Basically, noticed that he'd, changed some of his photos. And I was like, never met this guy. And I was like, why is he doing that?
You've never met this guy. You've paused your account on Hinge.
But not because of him. Can I point that out? It's not because I think I'm marrying this guy.
And you're like, is it a red flag that he's changed his pictures? No.
Everyone was like, are you insane?
Are insane.
Yeah.
They're allowed to.
I think that, like, I just am so scared of, like, men.
If you don't put yourself out there, you know, the rewards are so much greater.
Like,
I know.
you really don't know who you'll meet and, like, when and how.
Please don't be listening to this. And I promise you I'm not as much of a weirdo as I sound.
Listen, weird people keep the world interesting.
That's true.
Yeah, and also self-sabotage their relationships. Anyway, sorry, this is meant to be about Julia, but just a little...
I was gonna say it'd be the funniest thing if, like, the three of us swapped lives with each other. Because we're all so different. Like, so different.
We all live very different lives.
Oh, yeah, so I didn't even really finish the first question.
What was... Oh. Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, you did. You said that Brown wouldn't pay... Well, they haven't finished. They're so demanding on their end, like, you need to do X, Y, and Z, and then when it comes to it, they won't even do what they're supposed to do.
I hate doing the content, actually, like, keeping to a schedule,
Mm-hmm.
being on their terms, be like, okay, you have 2 days to refilm this. I'm like, okay, sure, I'll do it. And then they're a month or two late with their payment. I'm like, why did you agree to this much money if you can't actually pay it out?
Yeah.
Please. And then, what did I have a bad time with? Hollister was horrible to me. But this was, like, back in the day.
This was pre-me, before I was manager.
This was, like, one of my first ever, like, paid collabs, and I got paid £80. From Hollister, £80 I got paid for a carousel post in, like, 3 different outfits, and I also sent them, like, separate imagery of me in these outfits. So they basically had, like, 3 separate content photo shoots, like 5 photos each.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
For 80 quid. And they were horrible, like, to work with. Just, like, the response and, like, the gaslighting and, yeah.
And that's why it's good to have a manager.
And that's why it's good to have a manager who knows better than you.
You don't have to deal with it directly.
This would never happen now. Yeah. I was so angry at myself after I, like, realised how dumb I was. Like, I'm pretty sure I asked for much more, and they're like, no, we can offer you £50. £50, and I was like,
that's
no.
For anyone listening, that's literally pennies. If you don't know, in context, that is like,
I'm like, that barely
little.
That what pays my phone bill?
It almost makes me a bit upset how it's kind of like a rite of passage for anyone who's an influencer. Everyone has a bad experience and, like, a story of being taken advantage of by a brand, and it's really upsetting that, like, that's the norm and expected.
I know.
So hopefully we can demand more from these brands and they stop doing this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I was going to say, I love how anyone that is now watching the video pod will have just seen Cooper move from me to Eva's lap. That's her favourite spot when we record.
Oh. Hello.
So jumping right back into the next question. This one's quite an interesting one. There's 2 parts to it. So the first part is, if you had to pick one platform to post on, like, out of all 3 platforms, we're talking like YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, what would be your main platform to post on? And then the second part of it is, if you could only engage, follow people, or scroll on one platform but never post, what would that be?
It's pretty much an even split.
Yeah?
Right now anyway, because I only really post on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I can spend hours scrolling through TikTok. And I feel like anybody can say the same.
Would you say that Instagram's your favourite platform? I mean, I know it's your main and your biggest one, but you do also make TikToks.
I like the sense of community on Instagram, because I feel like TikTok, anybody will see your videos. Like,
yeah.
It could be anyone, it can reach any audience, and, like, you don't really know. I've never had a conversation with anyone on TikTok, apart from maybe, like, a little back and forth in the comments.
Yeah.
But on Instagram, like, I've made really close friends.
Yeah.
And I've met amazing people, and I've, like, done amazing things through connecting with people on there. It's just, like, so much easier to get someone's, like, vibe and personality. TikTok's just so, like, quick and, like...
It is a lot more random on TikTok, the content that you see, and it's all over the place, all over the world, whereas Instagram, you have to sort of search out the specific type of content you want to see, and then that way it's easier to build or join a community almost. But what I was going to say is, one thing that I have always wanted to ask you is, how did you get started on Instagram? Because I personally remember you following me one day, and I looked on your account and you had like 3,000 followers, you were Edinburgh based, and you were constantly posting high quality content, And I was like, who is this Edinburgh girl? She's a content creator, obviously. Like, she's going out doing photo shoots. Why have I not seen her before? I remember that was like around the start of lockdown. It was a similar time when you were doing like Coconut Lane shooting at the Ocean Terminal car park and stuff like that. But like, I literally remember you coming out of nowhere from my perspective. Like, I was like, who is this girl? And then you just blew up. So how did you like get into all of that? Like, how did that happen?
I don't remember how I found you. That's like the funny thing. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it just came up in like Explore page or maybe probably because I kept tagging like Edinburgh blogger, like Edinburgh.
I use that as well, like
yeah, like it might have just come up.
Yeah.
But I know like you messaged me first.
I did.
And then I was just like, oh, let's be friends.
I'm not afraid to slide into the DMs.
No one should be.
I did for both of you.
You miss 100% of the chances you don't take. Who said that? Was it your sister that said that last night to me?
I have no idea. Well, she didn't make it up.
I think your sister said that to me last night. She's not the creator of that phrase, no, but
No.
it's true though. You really just have to do stuff like that though. That's how
Yeah.
you make friends, I think. See, a lot of people say like, how do you make friends in your 20s? Like if you're, say you're in a job or like you're in your 4th year of uni and like you just don't have any like way of meeting friends like naturally.
Yeah.
I'd say that like, especially if you want to be like a content creator, like slide in the DMs. I enjoy sliding in the DMs.
Yes, you do. If there was one thing you could change about your job in being a content creator, full-time social media person, what would it be?
That's a like interesting one. I feel like I would change the way platforms are run and like the options you can do on the platforms, such as filtering people by
Okay.
their genders, ideally. So I could get rid
It's
of
like
all the men.
men cannot follow me.
If men could just stop following me, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Because they're useless. Like, I kind of like, they do nothing good.
I know that we talk about it so much, but I don't think people realise that you literally remove thousands of male followers on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Like, the time and effort it takes to do that,
It's hours.
I just can't believe it, but it makes sense. Like, if you want to have
Like,
a
succeed
female
and it's nothing like,
community.
and you can't help it. Like, they will come and they're like vermin. They're like rats. Like, they... You can't get rid of them.
No.
There's one thing goes viral, it lands on the wrong For You page, and all of a sudden you have 12,000 followers from one reel. It came from nowhere, and 10,000 of that is probably guys following you for like, what, just because they post lingerie and like...
Yeah.
Like, it's not for them, and I make it very clear, and they're still hanging around. And I'm like, why are you here?
I know some girls who have like 100k and 90,000 of them are men and they don't care about that. So
Yeah.
like, why specifically do you care about having majority female?
It's who I post for, it's who I relate to, and
That's who you want to
like,
connect with.
that's who I want to connect with and influence. Like, I'm pretty sure some random dude named Roger like isn't gonna buy whatever I'm trying to promote and sell. Unless he's getting it for his wife, which is, I mean...
Yeah. I mean...
Okay, I have a few guys who have said to me, have messaged me, like, hey, my wife loves you, my girlfriend loves you. Like, she knows I'm here, she also follows you, this is her at. She tells me what she wants, and, like, I'll go and buy it from your recommendation because she loves what you do.
Wow.
And those people are absolute gems, so, like, if that's you, come forward.
Yeah.
Tell me. Otherwise, like, if you're just here creeping... and you're not gonna engage with any of my other content that's only like lingerie stuff, just leave. Like, excuse me, just exit. Like, it's not that hard.
I mean, Eva and I always talk about from like a talent manager's perspective as well. Like, if you exactly what you're saying, like you want to work with brands and sell products that you love and use and continue doing it as a job, you need to have the right demographic for these brands' target audience. And if you have all men, then no one's going to want to pay to promote the product because men aren't going to buy it unless they're like that man and his missus who's shopping for her.
Yeah. And I've got, I know I have like a couple of those, and that's perfectly like, okay. I got recognised in the queue to Tropicana in Edinburgh. The guy was queuing and I was just like outside having some air, and the guy was like, me and my wife follow you on Instagram. And I was like...
I mean, I've personally never heard anyone else be told that before. You're the most recognized person that I've ever met, and I've been around some big influencers and celebrities and stuff like that before.
Yeah.
And literally no one tops it like you, because a lot of these people and stuff have been like at VidCon and all these events where everyone's going to meet famous YouTubers and all that. So obviously people are going to be in an environment where they can recognize it, but every single time I go out with you, oh my god, you're Sal Summer.
I remember in Bolly Bollerson, that was a
Yeah.
that was a funny one.
Oh god,
And people at PR events will come up to Julia and be like, OMG, and then say their Instagram handle name. Like, it's so common. They're like, oh, I'm this person, like, I follow you, or like, we follow each other, and she's constantly recognized.
I got recognized in Bros Bagels, actually. The day I was going to Paris, just I like sat down to eat my bagel, and this girl was just like, oh, like, I love what you do, like, I follow you on Instagram, like, it's actually really
That's
nice
so
to see,
nice,
like,
yeah.
someone in person, and I'm like, we were sitting, like, really close by,
Oh,
and it was, like, it's cute, I like it, like, I like when people come say hi to me.
I'm so socially awkward after that. I'd be like, I don't know how I'd move on from that. Like, do I just sit and eat my bagel in silence now, or like?
I would feel like I'd have to continue on a full conversation with someone
yeah.
for like the whole time I'm there. Be
Yeah.
like, come and sit with me.
Yeah,
Let's eat together.
I see. I feel like I'd be like, all right, I have to do this now, but I couldn't.
I forget, like, people's
Really?
names, like, I forget where I know people from. Like, I'll know, like, I know your face, but where from? No idea.
See, I'm the opposite. I remember people's names and know who people are, but I don't ever wear my glasses, so when I'm out, I can't actually see anyone. So there's so many times I've been at events and that where I'm just like, just literally like squinting, like that Ariana Grande meme where she's like,
Yeah.
that's me. And then people come up and I'm like, OMG, I've been like staring in your direction for the last 20 minutes. I'm sorry, I didn't even realize it was you.
I was in a queue to a restaurant in Paris, and I thought a really big Instagrammer was, like, queuing behind us. And I was convinced it was her, because she's between London and Paris.
Okay.
And I was like, looks exactly like her. Like, I pulled up her Instagram, and I was like,
How is that? Yeah.
I went and I asked, and she's like, no, it's not me. And I'm like, and I showed her, I'm like,
You look like.
are you sure? 'Cause, yeah,
funny.
I don't think I've recognized anyone,
No, but everyone recognizes
but
you.
people recognize me all the time.
I think that shows like the community that you've built though on Instagram. Like people obviously feel like comfortable enough to like come up and talk to you, which is great. That
Yeah.
people feel that like
I'm happy
comfortable.
about it.
Yeah,
I like
it's
it.
good.
I mean, I've made like countless friends from
Yeah.
it. So do just slide into my DMs. We can go out. We can have lunch together.
Love that. We've got one final question to wrap it up. How do you protect your peace? I mean, you protect your peace by deleting all the men.
Yeah, so
All
I was
the
gonna
men.
say.
That, as soon as I have like one negative thing said to me, it's an instant block. Like, I
Yeah,
don't entertain it.
exactly. Like, if you get like hate comments and things like that, or people trying to come at you.
The thing is, like, if you don't laugh, you cry, and they like fully live by that. It's kind of like, honestly, they're not coming after me. It's people just, you have to realize like they're insecure and they're just gonna be nasty for the sake of it. But it's nothing to do with you.
You.
It's
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
to do with them. So I block at least like 10 or 20 people daily. Like, as soon as I have some weird message or email or like a reply even to a question, I'm like, just no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've cut off friendships. A lot of people. When I first started doing Instagram, I realized how like unsupportive people are,
Yeah.
and that a lot of people were just friends with me to like get things from me, or were using me for like things, and just would never hold conversations with me, and it was more just like they'd message me if they want something.
Yeah.
I've not retained any friendships from uni. A couple like loose ones, but not really like super close.
I feel like when you do social media and like get into that world, it's so different and a lot of people don't understand it. So
Yeah.
you do need to have people who support you and your job and understand it and encourage it,
Yeah.
rather than like use you for our own benefits. Because there are a lot, everyone knows about the benefits of being an influencer. You know, you get nice things and you get PR and you get opportunities, and people can be selfish and use it for their own gain.
like, I was such a people pleaser. As well, for like the longest time.
Really?
I was such a different person.
Yeah, because I'm like, I could not imagine you as a people, like, you're such a strong-willed independent woman.
Yeah.
You don't tolerate any bullshit and you're just authentically you.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Yeah. And I loved that about myself too, but before, when I was like 16, 17, I went through like a bit of like a crisis, like a personality crisis, because I used to mirror the people I was with.
Yeah.
Like, I thought if I'm like them, they like me because I'm like them. Instead of just being myself and them liking me for being me. But that's also how I lose a lot of friends, because I'm very honest and don't sugarcoat. Don't feel the need to. I feel like people like this should exist, and like the truth is hard to hear, but someone has to tell you.
Yeah.
Like, for me, there's nothing better than actually being told the truth.
Yeah.
I'm the exact same.
Yeah, it's like, just tell me, like, if I'm doing something shitty, yeah, it'll hurt me that you've told me, but tell me so I can learn and, like, apologize for it and do better.
Yeah.
I get that.
And a lot of people don't like that.
Yeah.
So...
That's very true. And I think that's one of my favourite things about you, because I'm very similar too. And I feel like it also works for us working, because I can be like, this doesn't work. And you'd be like, I need this. And we know exactly what we expect and need from each other. But I love that.
So true.
Yeah.
See, coming back to what you said about like the whole honesty thing, I think that some of like my longest friendships, like for example, my friends from school, I actually have quite a lot of friends that I'm still close with from school. But I think the reason for that is we are like brutally honest with each other.
Yeah.
I would say especially me, and I think that's probably why those friendships have lasted, because like I'm straight up like, I think that's shit that you've done that.
Yeah.
Don't ever do that to me again. And then they won't. If they do, I won't speak to them for like 6 months.
I think it's like, every relationship is based on good communication.
Yeah.
And like, I can't stress this enough. Like, unless you're talking to each other and you're being honest and you're just being open, it's not gonna work. Because how would it?
Yeah.
You either have like acquaintances, like friends, sure, people you know. These people are okay to have in your life. Like, you're gonna have like a group of people around you, sure. But I can't like confidently say they're like my best friends.
Yeah.
Who I can tell like any random stupid shit to, and
I think as well, like, maturing is realising like that not everyone is your friend, and also that those people don't expect anything from them. For example, if you tell them something that's like private, don't expect them not to tell some guy from down the road. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have to, like, I don't know, I think that is a really good way of protecting your peace. And I also like what you were saying about if someone, they say something nasty to you or they don't treat you very well, or it's definitely like 100,000,000% to do with them rather than to do with you. Like, for example, if I think of like people that have like upset me or hurt me or have done hurtful things, it's usually like to make
it's
themselves
either
feel
jealousy
better.
or insecurity, and it's kind of like all you can do and the best thing to do is offer them help and be as nice as you can to them, because it hurts them more than it hurts you. That you're actually a good person, you're confident in yourself, you don't feel insecure that they've called you like a bitch, or if they call you, I don't know, like big or whatever. If you want to talk, we can talk. Like, if you want me to help you with your confidence, I can do that. Like, it's not a problem to me. But just stop being nasty to strangers online.
That is the motto. That is the takeaway from this episode. Stop being mean to people
Stop
online.
being mean to people.
More
Live your
positivity.
life. More positivity. Live your life to the fullest. Bring joy into your life.
What a nice little positive way to end the episode.
Yes.
That was like a therapy chat.
Yeah, it was. I feel like we probably could have gone on for longer. We should probably do a part 2.
Yeah.
Somehow.
I'll come back.
Oh yeah, I have so many more questions I know that I want to ask you and get right into some tea and stuff. But we can save that for next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gossip hour.
But yeah, thank you so much for coming on, Julia.
Thank you for having me.
You're our first official guest, so yeah, you're number 1.
Yeah.
You're special.
We've been wanting to get you on specifically for a long time, so
I'm so glad that we
guys still
finally
hyping
could
me
pull
up.
it together.
I don't think my ego's like...
handle it.
But yeah, for those who are listening, if you don't already follow Julia, make sure you do at Sour Somewhere. Go and follow her right now. And yeah, make sure you follow the Talent Managers podcast. And we'll see you guys in another episode.
Yeah.
Bye everyone.
See ya.